Alright, so I took my 2014 Toyota Tundra in the other day for a 55,000 mile service, and at the end of the service they informed me that it was near time to change my brakes on the front and rear. So here being the rear, they said it was about 20% remaining on the brake pads. So looked online, found a lot of videos on how to change the front, did those. It takes about 20 minutes to change each one. Then moving to the back, I decided to check online to see if there were any videos on how to change. The newest video I could find was 2013, which this is a 2014. Probably not a lot of videos online because they don't have those yet for the Toyota Tundra. So I wanted to talk to you on how to change the brake pads. In this case, the rotor doesn't need to be changed. The only other video I saw was to change the rotor. So first step is make sure you got PPE. Make sure you got your glasses, make sure you got your gloves, and then start. So the first step is there are two bolts back here on the back, and to crack these loose. So the first step is to crack these loose. You may need a cheater pipe for additional leverage, but in this case I've already popped them loose, so you won't need these. So first step is just go ahead and start unscrewing these, and then the bottom one. And normally you can do these with your hands at this point. So you unscrew. They don't go particularly far, but then you take it all the way out, a little bit further. You can see, still shiny, new. And then the bottom one. Same thing, the same bolt. Already been lubricated. Now, you take the caliper off, real easy, and you sit it to the side. The shoes come off pretty quickly, pretty simple. You can use a flathead screwdriver. Try this out real easy. You can see this one's not terribly worn, but since I already started the process, decided I'd go ahead and finish. And then the same with the other one. You really don't need to do a whole lot to take these out. In this case, the back was a little less worn than the inside was a little less worn than the outside. So I got the new ones here. The new ones I already put some lubrication, and I'll put these directly. The lubrication actually is on the outside and the inside of the disc. Make sure you don't lubricate the pad that's going to be in contact with the disc. You might have some problems if you did that. Now, here's a trick right here. When you go to put these back in, there's a little lip right here, and you have to kind of push this thing against that lip in order to do it. Now, once you do that, it pops right in. If you put it without seating it on that lip first, it will be harder to push it in, and then you'll eventually figure out that you have to put it on top of the lip and then slide it in. Do the same with the other, except on the back. And same process. You may need to look back in the back to make sure you're doing everything right. Now, done. So I still got my lubrication on here. Now here's a little trick that I learned from doing the front. Use a little C-clamp right here, and this C-clamp will help to compress before you put, this will help kind of make a little more space when you go to put this back on, the caliper back on. Kind of have to work with it a little bit, but eventually it'll catch. You can squeeze it. Once you get it enough, you slide this thing right back on here, and it doesn't quite fit. Need to do the same thing again. Do it over here where I can get a little better position. Still need a little bit more. This wasn't so complicated on the first one. That ought to do it. Slides right there. There are these little rubber gaskets you have to be aware of. So when you put this caliper back on, you got to make sure these fit. Now, put the bolts back in. Put a little additional lubrication on these, just so they'll be easy to come out next time. And screw these back in. So just screw them the rest of the way back in, put the tire back on, and you're good to go.